So yeah, not a whole lot happening this week. Let's talk about that Marvel Legends wave. Yawn. So I have Last Stand Spider-Man, which is ugly and looks like it lost articulation. Sorry to those who like. I don't know why you guys like this. I mean, I remember the story. Yeah, I get it, but this one just doesn't win me over at all. It's rough. Spider Shot, which is Assassin Spider-Man, which is a what if story that was just okay. It was interesting seeing Peter a killer, but really, this is not something I was really gunning for or anything. It's just kind of there. Yet, Scarlet Spider, at least I recognize that one very easily and know exactly who that is. It's not my favorite design though. Never has been. It's just big red chunk of plastic with an overlay. I think they should have made it part of the mold. This is my personal opinion. It's on the Renew Your Vows body, which has a lot of people happy. And okay, if you wanted it that way, great, wonderful. I never liked this design, even in the comics. I just thought it was weak. I really did. I can't deny it. It was weak. I love Ben Reilly's regular Spider-Man suit. That was really cool. But this one, no, I never did like this one. I never did like Scarlet Spider, so I can skip that pretty easily. All right, and Hallows Eve, which is weird because that character just literally came out not too long ago. And I mean, it's a decent looking figure, but I have no affection for the character. I did end up reading the story and didn't really like it and didn't really like her character at all. I am surprised to see her here, but okay. We'll just move on. And finally, we're getting to the ones I like. Tombstone, I think, looks pretty good. It's that suited body. I think it's a little bigger. I don't know. It does sacrifice articulation, but Tombstone was more of a tough guy, and he didn't really do any big poses, so I'll accept this. I'm noticing they're losing a lot of articulation lately, but we'll get to that in a second. And then, of course, we have my favorite, Jack-O-Lantern, and he has an accurate, wasn't a glider, it was his little thing that he rode. But anyway, this is a cool looking Jack-O-Lantern. Jack-O-Lantern is not a top tier villain by any stretch, but I really like this, and I really am going to go after it. Getting back to what I said a minute ago about articulation, I am getting flashbacks to, and many of you may not remember this, Marvel Universe became Marvel Infinite. And when it did, it lost a lot of articulation. And later we found out it was because they cut the budget on that line. Which didn't make any sense to me because they could reuse molds in the Marvel Universe line. But now they had to tool new molds because they cut the budget. It never made a lot. And it's a perfect, we're going to save money by spending more. Yes. Okay, that makes perfect. But this is, specifically the Last Stand Spider-Man gives me that impression. And Luke Cage recently, too. I mean, both of them, I was just like, whoa, why are we losing articulation when we don't have to? I mean, that Luke Cage could have easily been a molded piece and probably would have been cheaper as such, but instead they went for a one piece in the chest and then an overlay, which is weird, just weird. And it looks like that's what they did with this Spider-Man, especially in this one that looks like "Help, I Fall and I Can't Get Up" Spider-Man. Yeah, the articulation isn't there, and it's kind of Marvel Legends thing is articulation. Yeah, you can sacrifice some for certain looks, but for overall, it is articulation. And this is Spider-Man, so Spider-Man always should be at the top tier of that. And this ain't it. This is weird. And I'm wondering what's going on with Marvel Legends. I wonder what's going on with Hasbro. We all know that the stock is tipped, and of course it's only, one guy's fault because, we're just toxic bitchers who wait for clearance. It's like, come on, man. More like Hasbro has made some shit decisions in the past few years. And also, I think it's because they're pumping out so much product, and Marvel Legends especially. Look at just a few years ago, 2019, and compare it to now. There is a lot more action figures being released. As I said when I started putting together my Marvel Legends collection again, I thought it would take me 5 years. It took me less than 2, and I only have a few names left. That's telling you something. And okay, I freely admit Tombstone was not on that list, but now he is. Because still not gone to that $30 yet. And that's a character. I didn't have him on my list, but I'll get him. Jack-o'-lantern was a maybe. He was like maybe 11, 12. So that's one I'm also getting. So, but we'll see how this goes when they up the price. I don't think it's going to work out for Hasbro very well if that rumor ends up being true. We'll see. It's been a light week. Everything else on 10/27 in the London comic, it just put me asleep. I'm not even going to go there. Well, okay, they did show the Vamp, and again, it just cemented my it has cemented my idea of no. 1/12 scale vehicles do not need to be in my collection. I have several Vamps. I noticed they shaved some parts on this Vamp. It's smaller than. It's a lot smaller than it should be. And if you can't see it, you're not looking very carefully, because look at the regular Vamp, look at this Vamp. Yeah, it's a lot smaller than it should be. Which is fine. I get it. I understand it. But then I'm going, I got 2 or 3 of these. I don't need another. I mean, yeah, they're 1/18 scale, but I have it. I don't need it. I don't need a 1/12 scale. That's ridiculous. If you already have it in the scale of world building, you don't need it in 1/12. And I'm just going to pass on it. And I'm not going to regret it. I just don't see the value here. So that's me. That's for my own self. Me and Bacon had this conversation about on our live about people trying to influence people to collect their way, and it's like, no, people do their own thing and have their own opinions. And yeah, sometimes you get labeled toxic for your own opinions, but I have my own opinions. So I'm toxic. Oh well. All right, thanks for watching Infinite Realms and listen to me ramble about the toy topics of now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.